Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, July 22nd. It is just after 8 a.m. I just got finished reorganizing my storage unit because today we have a little bit different of a task other than just going out looking for stuff in the garbage. I have a storage unit that I am purchasing. It's not an auction. It's somebody who came to me, knows what I do, and has some stuff to unload. The crazy thing about this is I don't know what's in there. I know a couple items that they listed, but I have not seen any pictures. I know it's a 10 by 20, but they told me that it's not packed. It's probably more like a 10 by 10 or 10 by 15 worth of stuff, which is concerning because I don't have that much room in the storage unit, but I'm gonna make it work. I'm paying $100 for everything you see here. So I know the person who's selling it to me is gonna be coming with me to let me in. I don't know if they're gonna wanna stick around, so I'm not sure what kind of footage I'll be able to get at the actual facility, but I'm gonna do my best to get as much. And once we get it back here and start unloading everything, it's probably gonna be a couple trips, I would assume. I'll definitely show you what's in there. So let's get to it. All right, so here we are. Everything in this pile here, I just paid $100 for. I think we're gonna do all right just on, there's this bedroom set back here. Looks like a dresser and two end tables, and they honestly, from what I see, it looks like it's been taken care of very well. I think that's worth at least $100. And then under here, we have one of these entertainment fireplace things. Obviously it's July, so that's not going to be the greatest, but it should definitely still sell. And then this professional joiner here, this thing's very heavy. This is going to be a real pain to get in myself, but I think I'll be all right. Quickly, I did notice this automatic cashier. I think it's a coin counter. I'm sure that has a little bit of value as an antique. This ladder definitely should be all right to resell. Looks like a little, I don't know, it's actually not supposed to be, but that's actually a really nice ladder. So I'm gonna get going on getting some of this stuff loaded up, and I'll have some more clips of what else is in these boxes. So this is the first box that really piqued my interest, and I haven't opened it yet. I did see that it said PlayStation on it, so I'm hoping that there is PlayStation stuff in here. And there is. We have Dukes of Hazzard, Dark Stone, Gran Turismo, which opened up, and the actual PlayStation, PlayStation 1. So we'll have to test that out, make sure it works, but I mean, I don't exactly know what the prices on these games. I bet that the Dark Stone is probably the most expensive, if I had to take a wild guess. But even with the console, as long as the console works, that's a good chunk of my money back right in this first box that we opened up. I just moved that wood joiner out of the way, and behind it I saw these bears. I just recently watched one of those shows on like HGTV with the Flipper Flop guy. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but on one of the episodes, his wife went to the carving place, and she spent like $1,000 on these bears. I'm sure they're more expensive in that kind of setting, you know, with the tourist market, but these probably actually go away, and bear hugs 5 cents actually go in there. I guess you could switch that out, maybe even, or actually you could switch it out with the back. And this one says, "For you, the hugs are free." So I guess depending on your mood that day, you could put whatever sign, but I think we'll do pretty well on these bears overall. I'm finding that a lot of these boxes are holiday decor, which is fine. I mean, holiday stuff sells. Obviously, you'd like it to be closer to the holiday, but this whole box seems to be Halloween. None of it seems to be really vintage, which is unfortunate, but I think I'll be able to sell probably like this box as a lot, just to get rid of it. I mean, if it was, I might throw some of this stuff out at the garage sale I'm planning to have. But I mean, it's all newer junk holiday stuff. There's nothing really that I've seen so far that seems to be vintage that would be worth anything. All right, I was gonna go through this box here. It looks like mostly linens. I thought that this was very interesting. It's like a forest for your bathtub, like a shower curtain. There's 2 of them, so maybe it's just curtains. Now that I think about it, I guess that would make more sense if that is just a curtain. But it's pretty interesting. I mean, if you're into nature, I guess you want, but I mean, then why wouldn't you just look outside? I think that's pretty strange, honestly. But we'll kind of turn the camera here, and you kind of see that this box here seems to be mostly curtains, actually. So we got some stuff on the bottom. Little squirrel. But let me turn the camera around and we'll go through this box. So I got all the curtains out of the top of this box. And this is actually a really good sign. Jim Shore, this is a really good company. My grandmother loved this. She had Jim Shore all around her house before she passed. And I know how expensive it is. So I'm hoping that it's in there, and it actually is. So I'm sure that this thing's worth probably at the very least 20 bucks, considering it has the box. My grandma had a house fire, and they were able to save all the Jim Shore. They were able to restore all of her stuff, but all the boxes were ruined. So down the years, when I got my hands on it to resell it, because that's what I do. Most of it I did, because I mean, it's not really something anybody wanted. I didn't have the boxes, so I had to sell them all without the boxes, which hurt. This is probably for those curtains. I'm only seeing one. I was hoping this whole box would be full of them. This stuff looks like it's for some fountain. But at least you have that Jim Shore thing. The curtains, I mean, I'll throw those out at the garage sale, but I don't really see them being worth a whole ton. See, like this box, I mean, these are not old. I mean, it's in the original box that it came in. It's just a set. I mean, I'm sure somebody could put, fake flowers in there, or flowers. I mean, it looks like there's 2 sets of those. This box here looks like it has some smaller cups, or that. I don't know if that goes like that or like that, honestly. So I mean, what's this? Southern Comfort, Alabama Slammer. Some tourist type stuff. Not a whole lot of value there. What's this one? So, Vines to Cellar, Port Washington, Wisconsin. So I mean that's something you buy if you're in that tourist trap. It's not really something you buy as a collectible, per se, from like a secondary market. In this box, it looks like it has Samuel Smith. I don't know if that's a brand. I don't know if that was somebody's name. So we'll see what we can get rid of on these cups and glassware. So I've been going through some of the boxes, and I've kind of taken a step back, and I'm thinking that my game plan should be to get all of the big stuff out in the first trip. So I'm going to try to get all this small stuff out of the way to get the dresser set, the joiner, which I already have out there, the fireplace, which I'm sure is so heavy. I'm dreading that. I might need to call some help to get that in. I'll be able to get the dresser in for sure, but I'm going to get all the furniture out so that way I can throw that in the storage unit and be able to put all these small boxes and junk on top. Because I mean, I think I have about this much space in my own personal storage unit. So we're gonna be pretty full for a few days until I can get rid of some of this stuff. But I really think that the dresser set, as opposed to something that I would find on the side of the road, it's probably in a lot better shape, which will, you know, up the value. I mean, it looks like it's like solid oak, or I'm not really sure. I'm not really good at woods, I'm being honest. But I'm sure it's a pretty solid piece. And with the 2 end tables, 1 dresser, that's a nice bedroom set for somebody. So I think that should sell pretty quick. So I think there's a lot of items in here. I mean, I don't know really. I'm sure I think it's something with woodworking, right? I don't really know much about it. I'm sure it's worth $100 or more. I'll do more research, but they say it works. So as long as it actually does, and that's 100. The dresser set over 100. I'm not really sure. If it was December, this thing probably would be close to 150, $200. This fireplace. So we'll see. But I think that's definitely the game plan. So I'm gonna stop talking so much and start working on getting some of this stuff in the van and back to my own storage unit. After saying that, I found a box that was too different to not open up, and it's got a bunch of bees on it. That's why I kind of thought it was cool. And this looks like the top to something. So I would bet there's no markings on the box other than the bees. I bet you that this is a cookie jar, maybe, with that top being there. Some kind of jar. So that's pretty cool. This box is labeled PC games, and it looks like we have like pretty much the whole set of The Sims 3, most of the expansion packs in there, and some other random stuff. Space Colony, that looks like it's from the early 2000s. Pretty cool. But I mean, there should be some value in maybe some of these books, and maybe The Sims if the codes aren't already, you know, out of service or whatever you would call that. But I also wanted to show off real quick this entryway table. That should be all right. It's in pretty good shape, a little wobbly, but once it's up against the wall, I think it should be all right. So that's a pretty cool find. Now the webbing on these is not perfect by any means, especially on this one. It's kind of ripping quite a bit. But if these were in perfect shape, I mean, this would be a $40 at least. I mean, on eBay, if you're willing to ship this stuff, people really like these vintage chairs if they are in good enough shape. Now, I think that these probably still will sell. For how much is going to be the question, just because of the ripping. I mean, they don't have very much life left. You sit on this one time too hard and all this stuff's going to rip up. But I mean, they probably have a little bit of life left in them, and I think somebody else would agree with me on that. So thankfully, when I got here this morning, I was able to get into this loading dock. This facility only has one, from what it seems like. So I'm hoping on my second and maybe third trip. I really think I can get this done in 2 trips. It's all gonna depend on what fits in the van. I hope that I can get it done in 2 trips, but I'm hoping on my second trip that I get this loading dock too, because I mean, if not, I'm gonna have to trek all this stuff across the parking lot. It looks like there's a dumpster at this facility. Wonder why. Normally you don't see stuff like that, but I'm not gonna mess with that because I don't wanna get the person that I bought the stuff from in trouble at all. But I mean, there might be some good gems in that dumpster right there. You never know. I saw these poking out from the beginning, and I'm pretty stoked about these. People love these ship wheels or whatever they're called. I think that's what it is, like a ship wheel. There's 2 of them. They look like they match. Different sizes though. I might split them up just for the max profit. I think that they might do a little better separately, as opposed to finding one buyer that wants 2 of them. But these, every time I have these, which is very rare, I'm sure you'd get a lot more if you live somewhere more nautical than Chicago. But these are definitely quick sellers. This one had this in it. And I don't think that that's like how it's supposed to be. I think those are actually real bugs. How long they've been in there, I don't know, but it looks like maybe a praying mantis, and some kind of dragonfly. But that's not what I expected to find in this box, is actual insects. But I guess to each his own. I mean, I get putting insects in a pot, in a container, I guess, but I'm not opening that, and that's probably going right into the trash. But definitely a different find for sure. And here's the final view of that dresser. The end tables I already have in the van. They are a little bit worn, nothing terrible, but they're not like pristine or anything. But this is a solid piece. All the drawers seem to work. Bedpost tops. Okay. And the maker's mark on it is Sumter. Yeah, drawer doesn't have a stopper on it. Maybe none of them do. But that's definitely that'll pay for the whole thing. There's just this dresser. All this other stuff is pretty much free. So this here obviously is probably the heaviest item. It's mostly heavy in here. This it's bottom heavy, especially with this base that they put on there to make it roll around, or if that's how it came. I don't know. It looks homemade though. So I am a little worried about getting this thing in. Even just pushing it was pretty hard. So my idea is I have it here. I'm gonna try to tip it up against there, lay it down, and then stand it up and put it in that corner. I'm hoping it will fit for maximum space. And then I'm thinking I'll be able to get the fireplace right in there, and then we'll just start putting some smaller stuff all around it. I really think I can get this done in about 4.5 hours total, including drive time. I started at about 9:15. Currently, I think it's just after 10. And if I wasn't doing all these little clips, I'd be a lot farther along. But I'm gonna put the camera down and see if we can get this thing in here without having to call some help. All right, it's in there. That took a lot out of me. That was definitely very heavy. I don't know how heavy, but that was very heavy. I'm sweating after getting in there. I got it here, and then just the way it was, like it was upside down pretty much when I got it in there, so I had to like get it to lay down. Like you can even see, like it was kind of almost, this is from that and that. I mean, that thing is very heavy. I probably shouldn't have done that myself, but unfortunately, I mean, everything in the storage unit needs to get out of there today, and I had nobody to come and help me. I tried to get a few people, but nobody was interested in making a few extra bucks. So it is what it is. It's done now. Now I just got to get it out, which shouldn't be as hard, but we didn't do any damage, so we're good. All right, this box is labeled chess sets. I'm sure there could be some substantial value in some chess sets. This is Dragons versus Penguins in Isle of Lewis. I don't know if that's, looks kind of medieval looking with the board. This is probably the pieces, but I'm sure that there is some value in there. How much is yet to be determined, but that's at least not a box of cups. All right, so we got the fireplace here uncovered. It's a really nice piece, and it's like brand new. Like there's like no wear at all. I'll probably end up putting the most amount of wear on it, just moving it by myself, unfortunately. It's by Allen and Roth, which I think is a pretty good brand. I don't know, I want to say that that's from like Target or something. I don't think it's Target, but I've heard of it before. It's got the manual. I don't know if it has the remote with it, but if it had the remote with it, then that's like gold, but I don't see it, but you can just still turn it on there. I have a feeling that this is even heavier than that other thing, which really sucks. Let me just try to move it. Honestly, that's not terrible. But I think I might try to take the fireplace part out to lighten it up a little bit, as long as I doesn't have some weird screw, because I have screwdrivers in the van, because it's doable, but this is no heavier than the dresser was, so I can definitely get it in, but I'm gonna be tired tomorrow. All right, so we got that in. Unfortunately, I need like a half a foot, so I'm hoping that dresser has something in front of it in my pile of junk in the front that I can just push everything up just a little bit. This one was not too bad at all. I didn't even have to take this out. But at least now I know like everything heavy in that unit is in the van. The only other thing that's kind of heavy is that bed, but those are really manageable because they're already taken apart. So hopefully I can get everything pushed up about 6 inches. That box that I put on top there is gonna have to move because it's gonna hit the top of the roof, which is gonna cause nothing to move front. But I think I have enough space to probably put that chair. I'm hoping maybe I can get all 3 chairs in this trip. And then the next trip, all I'll have is for the rest of the boxes and the bed. So wish me luck. All right, so the van's pretty much full now. I'm gonna head out and bring the stuff back to my storage unit. I'm gonna be able to fit all of this stuff, I think, in probably a few more of these boxes. But I think that this is not even a full van load right here. So I think we should be able to get this done in the next couple hours, for sure. I won't have to creep into tomorrow, take up more time. But this is kind of cool if you're into Star Wars. I'm really not. I mean, I've never even really seen them, but it's like a Star Wars Darth Vader Christmas decoration. It's something the lady pointed out to me like it was special. So, I mean, I guess if you're into Star Wars, that's pretty cool. But I mean, like, we got some new kitchen gadgets. I might take that for myself. This chair here, unfortunately, is like missing. It's on casters on the front, and one of them's missing. If I see it, then maybe it's $5 for somebody's basement or man cave. But if not, this is probably this and that glider might be a hard sell. It's really stained up. I might try to sell it, but this is probably going to be the one thing that is definitely just going straight to the trash. On top of this bed, I'm gonna have to figure it out because she said that they like reinforced it with this plywood. I'm not sure if just because like her husband is like really big, I guess. So I'll have to see if that, you know, if anybody wants it like that. It looks a little funky, but I think we should definitely be able to get one more trip done and have this done in the next few hours. So let's head over to the storage unit and get this unloaded. All right, so here's that dresser set, all said and done. I just got pictures taken of it. I just took pictures of this big stuff. The small stuff, I just don't have time today. That's how much room we got. And I still don't have this or that heavy thing in here. But I mean, this is what I was talking about with it's got a little bit of wear. I mean, it's an end table, you know, a little bit of a cigarette mark there or burn mark. But overall, I think this one's a little bit worse actually. Overall, I think it's still a pretty good set. It's definitely solid wood, so it should sell. I mean, this is where my 100%, this is my break even, is just selling this dresser. Now, on the other hand, this freaking grinder or joiner, whatever the heck this thing is ridiculous. Now, it's heavy. It definitely is heavy, but that's not even the issue. I don't have anybody helping me today. I could not get anybody to help me. So I got to get this thing out somehow. And it's honestly, like, it's maneuverable. Like, it's heavy, but it's maneuverable. The issue I'm having is you could see here, this part is digging into the floor. So when I move it, it gets stuck and it digs itself a hole. So when I pull it, I'm stuck, if that makes sense. And I can't flip it to the other side. I don't even know. And I bent this part, and this is just like the metal part, the stick to get the on and off switch. The cord's not in the metal part, but I bent that up a little bit, bent it back. That should be fine, but just getting this thing in was terrible, but getting it out is even harder. Because I mean, like, I'm not really worried about the floor. I mean, it's annoying that there's little holes, I guess, but it's not that big of a deal. But like, it's just digging in, and I can't move it. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna try one last time, but if not, I'm just gonna leave it in here, work around it, and wait for somebody to help me get it out, because I can't lift it. At the storage unit, like, just tipping it in was fine, but getting it down without like breaking it or slamming it on my legs is just like almost impossible. So I'm at a loss with this freaking thing. I hate it so very much. All right, taking a 5-minute break. Doing the other stuff helped because I was able to get it pretty much right after that clip. Oh, jeez, this thing is super heavy, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I bent that, like, laying it down, but you can see, like, that's from these spots and this crevice right there. I'll be remembering this thing for a long time. But I mean, as long as this thing works, and I hope it does, it should be a pretty good flip. few $100, I would think. It's gonna take forever to sell, probably, what these kind of things are. But I really got to quit yapping. I got to go back, finish up, unload the van one more time. So I'm gonna probably not have too many more clips, but there will be a few more. But I'm so glad I got rid of this, got this thing out of the van at least. All right, so we're back, and I figured this was gonna happen because there's only one loading dock, but somebody's in the loading dock, so I'm parked out there. Adds a little bit of a wrinkle, makes it a little bit harder, but we'll get it done. I'm really hoping to get everything loaded up in the next hour and then be unloaded at the storage unit within an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, about 1 o'clock now. I wanna say 12:45, so let's get going. So this is why I hate facilities that are indoor, not only for the loading dock situation, stuff like that. It takes so much more time, and then they build them so where you can't get anything bigger than the carts through. So you load up the cart, and I make it the whole way through the storage unit facility, and you get to this part, and now this bed is too big, so I gotta take everything off of the cart and carry the bed out. Thankfully, this is open. So I'm just gonna, I don't wanna leave this like this, because then somebody's gonna come around the corner and I'm gonna be blocking them. So hopefully I can get it out and get it right here so I can just back right in, as opposed to dragging it across the parking lot. But I absolutely hate indoor storage facilities for this very reason. And this one has no air conditioning in it, and it's very, very hot in here. So that's my rant over for that. All right, and that's that. We got our last little pile here. These two items were things that were buried, and she told me to keep a lookout for, the lady I bought this from. But it is currently like 2 minutes after 2. So I started at, I wanna say 9:15, 9:30-ish, and now it's 2. So that's what, 4 hours and 45 minutes, but my facility that I took the stuff to is about 20 minutes out, so about 4 hours worth of work. I still have to unload the van. There was quite a bit of garbage. That bed that was right here, I only had one side rail. I could not find the second side rail, so that's probably most likely going to be trashed. And that chair, and then just smaller crap, unfortunately. But overall, I think this was worth it. We got a lot of good inventory that you'll be seeing in the coming weeks getting sold. So we're gonna close up, lock this up for her, and head out of here. If we can figure out how this, I've never done a lock like this. I think it just goes in somehow. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But I wanna thank everybody for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you like this kind of content too, a little bit different than the regular garbage picking is. So let me know. Thank you. Bye-bye.